Hey guys, Robert McClellan here today, and we are going to be going over a cable shootout. In particular, I have 4 different cables. The Mogami, which is the top of the line $48 6-foot XLR cable, a Hosa brand 6-foot XLR, Planet Waves, and just your off-brand China brand. Literally, that came from China, and you can get a million of them for cheap. So we're going to be shooting out each one of these cables to see which one will give us a better result. Now, results are going to vary as opposed to what kind of results are you looking for. So when I play this right here, the result that we're looking for in this is what kind of a noise floor are we getting from a cable that's just running into a MXL V67G. It's running into my audio interface straight into the computer, no compression, no effects, or nothing of that nature. You will notice that on each and every one of these cables, including this very expensive Mogami, this Hosa, Planet Waves, and the China brand, we are seeing no noise floor whatsoever. So this is good for every one of them. Now, in a typical situation, we're going to be recording something into this, and therefore, during that recording, we are going to have, usually we'll have compression applied, and so that's going to raise that noise floor just a little bit. So let's say, oops, didn't mean to do that. Let's say that in this particular setting, we have recorded something. Generally on a vocal, you're going to do a little bit of compression, and then you're going to raise that. Maybe you're going to do 3 dBs of compression, and then you're going to gain stage that back up with you're going to add 3 dBs back to it. So let's go to normalize here, and we're going to normalize this signal by 50%, or 0.50%, I should say. So we're going to raise that noise floor up to negative 46 decibels. Like, let's just say like if we would have applied compression to it. So now we're going to see on these waveforms a little bit more added to it. And I'm going to go ahead and zoom into these waveforms so we can see exactly what this has done to our... Okay, we'll zoom in all the way. Okay, so real quickly, this was before, zoomed in all the way, this was before we added that extra for the noise floor. So you can see there's still noise, it's just not enough to actually register. And of course I'm zoomed in all the way onto the waveform now. Okay, so let's go back to normalizing those, and now let's see what we have on our meters. Okay, it looks like here on the Mogami we're looking at an average of a negative 43. On the Hosa, got a negative 44, 43, somewhere around there. On the Planet Waves, we're actually getting less noise floor. And then on this cheap China brand, we're getting about the same as the Hosa. So just letting these play through, you're going to see it's going to peak out at its top here. Obviously, because we're going into the negatives, the higher the negative number, the better. So it looks like in this particular test, the Planet Waves has actually given us a better reduction in the noise floor, even as opposed to this really high-end $48 Mogami. So that's definitely something that's rather eye-opening. As far as tone, I've went ahead and included a span plug-in on each one of these. So when I play this noise floor, you're going to see exactly what it's doing to the frequency spectrum. So on the Mogami, I've got this set to an average and max. So you're going to see there's hardly any kind of mid-range frequency turbulence, if you want to call it that. We've got some high-end past 2K, and it's adding a little bit of low-end frequency. Okay, so on the Hosa brand here, looks like we've got a kind of a high peak around 3000K, but you can tell it's climbing up past here. A little bit less in the lower end. Okay, let's look at our planet waves. And yet again, these are averages. And this is just the noise floor. So it looks like on this planet waves cable, we've actually got a little bit less of that frequency turbulence in the high end, a little bit more in the low end, around this 150 hertz area. But a lot of this low end, like 20, 30, 40 hertz, is not there. And now let's check out our China brand. And man, it's just climbing right up there. So quite a bit of turbulence in the China brand too. But yet again, all of this it's subjective to taste, it's subjective to pocketbooks, really. Let's look at this Mogami one more time. It's got this spike in the 3000 range, a lot more in the 20 and 30 hertz range, and right here at the 180 range it's spiked up. Now granted, this test here was not done in a soundproof, noise-free room. So each one of these is going to be, I mean, it was as quiet as possibly I could get it here in the house. There was nobody up in the morning, so I figured it would be the best time to do it. But however, you're still going to get some room noise in that. So it's not going to be completely perfect, but all of them are recorded in the same environment with essentially the same background noise. All right, so let's move on to some speech into the microphone. And yet again, I didn't like reamp this or anything like that. So each one of these performances of this speech is going to be a little bit different. But I think you'll get the essence of it. So let's go ahead and we're going to mute all of these. And then we will just play one of them at a time. So we're going to begin with the Mogami. We are now performing a mic test to see which of the cables is the best. We are now performing a mic test to see which of the cables is the best. Okay, so yet again, V67G into my audio interface, into the computer, Mogami cable. Now here's the Hosa brand. We are now performing a mic test to see which of the cables is the best. We are now performing a mic test to see which of the cables is the best. Okay, moving on to our Planet Waves cable. We are now performing a mic test to see which of the cables is the best. We are now performing a mic test to see which of the cables is the best. And moving on to our China brand. We are now performing a mic test to see which of the cables is the best. We are now performing a mic test to see which of the cables is the best. Okay. Now I have went ahead and put all of these back to back so that you can just hear them one right after another. I figured that would probably help instead of doing the pausing and whatnot. So I'm going to highlight all of these here. And then we will listen to them all in succession, and it's going to go right down the line. So Mogami, Hosa, Planet Waves, and then the China brand. We are now performing a mic test to see which of the cables is the best. We are now performing a mic test to see which of the cables is the best. We are now performing a mic test to see which of the cables is the best. We are now performing a mic test to see which of the cables is the best. Okay, so just a real quick cable shootout. I hope you will notice one thing in all of this that I definitely noticed. And it's part of the reason why I wanted to purchase this really expensive Mogami cable. I wanted to see if, in fact, all the hype was true or not. So as you can see, according to tone-wise, I don't think you really have anything to gain. It doesn't sound like you're gaining anything sonically. When we looked at our noise floor, it didn't really look like we were losing any noise floor by switching to a higher end cable either. I believe a lot of that has to do with your room and things of that nature. One thing that I would say in the higher end cables that you will not get in the lower end cables, and this is probably the main reason why if you wanted to purchase a higher end cable you would do so, is that the Mogami cable actually has a lifetime warranty. If anything should ever be at fault with it, they will replace it for free. Also, you're going to have durability. You're going to have the stability of knowing For instance, the locking clip on the XLR that goes for the male inside of it, the little locking clip on it, is a lot sturdier than that of the others. I did notice too when I bought the China brand XLR cables, I got 3 of them or 2 of them for like $3. One of them worked pretty well. That's the one I used in this shootout, and the other one sounded like junk. And the one that actually I used in this shootout is already almost falling apart. So in my personal opinion, if you have the extra to buy the more expensive cable, just for the fact of having, it's almost like buying insurance on your cables that you're going to be using in the studio, just for the fact of having that lifetime warranty replacement, then go for it. However, if you don't have the money, then it's really not going to hurt you sonically to go with something like in the middle, like the Hosa brand or even the Planet Waves brand would be my definite second choice. So I hope this has helped, guys. If it has, let me know in the comments below what you think about it. And we are going to also be doing a couple of shootouts with the guitar cables as well in a later video. So you all have a blessed day, and I'll talk to you later.